Hi friends, welcome to GT Coding. In this video we are going to learn about drop-down navigation menu. So I have been getting a lot of questions regarding drop-down navigation bar using HTML and CSS. So let's create one in this video. I have already talked about creating a simple navigation bar in a previous video. So this video is going to be about drop-down navigation bar, which means you will be having multiple levels of menus. So let me just show you what we are going to build. So this is what we are going to build in this video. So when we hover over one of the menus, we have these sub menus, and we have another level of sub menu over here. So we have all these menus, and here we don't have any sub menu. When we click on this about menu, it will take us to an about us page. This is just a simple HTML page that I created. So this is basically what we are going to build in this video. So in the next video I will teach you how to make this drop down menu responsive, which means that when you view it on a mobile device it will look completely different. So for this video we are just going to create this navigation bar for a desktop. So let's get started. So I created this basic HTML code over here, and I have linked my CSS file. So let's start designing. First of all, I will create a class called wrapper to contain everything. So I will call it wrapper, and in that I'll create a header for this GT coding. We are going to use the HTML5 standard. So for that we have a tag called header in HTML5. We will just use it, header, and in that we will type GT coding in an H2. So we have GT coding over here, and now we will go ahead and create another division called navigation desktop. Navigation desktop. So in that we will create our navigation. So I'm going to use one more HTML5 tag called nav. This is specially used for creating navigation menus. So in that we will create an unordered list, and in that we will have different list items. So we'll just check programming, OS, projects, and about. So we'll just type everything out here: programming, OS, projects, and about. Now we have to create this sub menus over here. So in that we have C++, C#, Java, web development, and Python. So in our li tag we have to create another unordered list. So I will just create a UL over here, and that we will have different items. So we have C++, C#, Java, web development, and Python. And in OS we have Windows, Macintosh, and Linux. So in our OS li tag we will create another unordered list, and in that we have Windows, and then we have Macintosh and Linux. In projects we have Android, iOS, web, and Windows. So we'll just type that in our list item. We'll create another unordered list, and we have Android, iOS, web, and Windows. So now we have one more thing remaining, that is the submenus of web dev. So we'll check what we have. In web dev we have JavaScript, PHP, and Ruby. So in our web dev list item, we will create another unordered list, and we will have JavaScript, PHP, and Ruby. So now we have completed the basic structure of our navigation menu. Now we will go ahead and create some text over here. So we'll just copy this, and after our navigation desktop division, we will create an article. So article is also an HTML5 tag which can be used to type some text that we want. So I'll create an article, and in that I'll just paste everything that I had copied. We'll just create some paragraph tags. So we have that set up. Now the last thing that we need is the footer over here. So for footer also we have a dedicated tag in HTML5 called footer. So in that we will just type GT coding, and for this copyright symbol we have to just type ampersand copy 2017. So now the last thing that we need to do before going to our CSS is we have to make all these a clickable link. So we have to include everything in an anchor tag. So we'll just do that. We'll give a hash for now because we don't have any page right now to go. So hash means that it will stay in the same page. So let me just finish this quickly. So the last menu is the about menu, and we are going to create a page called about.html. So we'll give the link of that page. And now we are done with everything in our HTML. Now we will go to our CSS and style this page. I have already created this style.css in my folder. So first of all we will do some resetting, that is we will select everything and set the padding to 0, margin to 0, and box sizing to border box. I have created a video describing what is box sizing, you can watch that. So we will select HTML and set its height to 100%, and now we will access our wrapper class. So in wrapper we will set the minimum height to 100% and the width to 100% and position relative. So we are setting the position relative because we want to set our footer to the bottom of the page. So we have to use position relative in our parent division. Now we will go to the body and type in height 100% and background DDD. Now in our S2, what we will do is set a padding of 50 pixels and a background color of 112233 and the color of our text to F0, F1, F5 and font family Big John, text align to center and font size to 30 points. Letter spacing is basically the space between each of these characters, so we will set it to 15 pixels. So there we go. Now we will access the navigation desktop class. So type in navigation desktop and we will set the background color. Then we will style our nav. So set the height to 40 pixels and the width to 560 pixels and make it display block. Margin 0 auto, which centers our navigation. Then text align to center, which will set the alignment of the text to center, and text transform uppercase, this will set the text to uppercase. Now we'll go ahead and style our anchor tags. So we will type in nav A. This will apply to every anchor tag that we have in our nav. So we will set it to display block and text decoration to none, which will get rid of the underlines. So font family monospace, font weight to bold and font size to 13 points, and we will also give the color of the text to 112233. Now we will style what we want to happen when we hover over these anchor tags. So we will type nav A hover, and in that we will give it a background color of hash 223433 and color of our text to hash F0, F1, F5. So we have this hover effect over here. Now we'll go ahead and style the unordered list. So we will type in nav ul and first of all set list style to none, that is we will get rid of all these bullets. So we will type list style none. Okay, now we will style the li. So we'll type in nav ul li. First of all we will set the float to left and set a width of 140 pixels. We can see already we have a basic navigation, a basic drop down navigation over here. We'll set the height to 40 pixels and line height to 40 pixels. Line height basically means the space between the two lines of text. So we'll also set the background color to hash FC 575E. So we will type nav ul li, which will access the inner submenu. So we will type in position relative and display none. So we don't have any menu displayed over here right now. We have hidden it for now. So when we hover over these menus, we will display the sub menu. So we will type nav ulli hover ulli. So which means that when we hover over this unordered list, the unordered list that is inside this list will be triggered. So we will set the display to block. So we can see we have this menu displayed when we hover over this. Now we also have an animation over here. So when we hover over this, we can see that it has a basic animation where it slides in from bottom, and it also has a transparency animation. So we will create an animation for that. So to create an animation, we have to type in @keyframes and the name of our animation. So in here you can set the percentage of your timeline and type whatever property you want. So I will set the opacity to 0 and top to 5 pixels, which means that it will be 5 pixels below from the default position, and in the 100% we will type opacity to 1 and top 0 pixels. So it will slide in from 5 pixels to 0 pixels. So let's just add our animation in the hover. So we will type in animation and the name of our animation and how long the animation must run, and there we have our animation. You can also type in forwards. So if you have your animation running continuously, or if you have your animation running in a loop, you can type in forwards over here and it will stay where it is at the 100% position. So this is how animation works in CSS. So if you guys need more information on animation, please mention it in the comments below, and I will try to create a dedicated video for animations. So we are done with the animations. Now the next thing that we need to do is take care of the inner submenu, that is the web dev. So here we will type in nav ulli hover. So when we hover over the sub menu that we have, so we should trigger the menu that is inside our sub menu. So we'll type in ul over here. So when we hover over this sub menu, the unordered list that is inside our sub menu will be triggered. So we'll type in display block. So we want it to be positioned beside the web dev menu. So we will type in position absolute and set the width to 140 pixels and left to 140 pixels and the top to 0 pixels. So when we hover over web dev, we have these three menus over here. So we have one problem here. When we hover over programming, we can see the submenu of web dev is also displayed. Ruby and PHP and JavaScript also is also displayed, but we cannot see it because of this item over here. So to fix that, we have to set the display of this submenu to none. So we will type in nav ul and display none. So now we can see that we don't have that problem. And when we hover over our web dev, we have these three menu items. So we have pretty much everything we need. So now we are done with our drop down menu. Now we will just style the article and our footer. So we will type in article and set the padding to 10 pixels and font family, Arial, and line height to 40 pixels. And now we will style our footer. So set the border top to 2 pixels, solid FC 575E, and set the position to absolute and bottom to 0 pixels. That will set it to the bottom of our page. We'll set the padding to 20 pixels and width to 100%. Set the text align to center and background to 112233. Color of the text to white and font family to sans serif. Font weight to bold. Font size to 11 points and text transform to uppercase. Here subscribe and like are bold, so we'll just go to the HTML and we have a tag called strong. Now if we include any text in this tag, we can make the text to be bold. So and in this way we have completely designed the web page as we wanted. So I will just also create an about page just to show you how you can link the about page. So I will right click over here and create a new text document. I will remove the extension and type in about.html. Then we will open it in brackets. We'll just have a basic h2 tag and type in about us page. Here we will give some inline styling. So style is equal to text align center and margin top to 200 pixels. Font family Big John and font size to 50 points and font and color of our text to AAA. So this is a basic page that I just set up to show you how to link our navigation bar to a page. So this is our about.html page. Now I will go to the index.html and here we have already set up this about.html over here, and now if we click on this about link, it takes us to our about us page. So this is how you link your navigation bar to different pages. You can have links of different web pages in place of this hash. So that's basically how you create a multi-level or a drop-down navigation bar. I hope you like this tutorial. If you got to learn something from this tutorial, please click on the like button, and if you have any doubts or questions, you can ask them in the comments section. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button to get notified about the new video uploads. And in the next video I'm going to show you how to make this page a responsive web page. That is, we will have a different view of this page when we view it in a mobile device. So thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.